everyone, and welcome on back to Building with Whip. Over the last few episodes, we have totally done some crazy things, including finishing off this mountain peak as far as the texture variation in all of the stone goes, shaping it out, and doing all that crazy stuff. And last episode, we kind of had a chill one, partially chill one. We finished it off with a pretty crazy time lapse of building all of those trees. And we got this whole mountain range finished up, and it's looking pretty freaking awesome. I gotta say though, what we're gonna be starting off with today is I hate all of those little fences. So what we're gonna be doing to kick off today's episode is we are going straight over into time-lapse mode, and we're gonna be working on building up all of these trees here. So I will catch you guys on the other side of this here time-lapse. Alright guys, for today's comment or question of the day, this one is coming from Grumpy Owl Gaming. I'm not going to go ahead and read that whole thing seeing as it's a wall of text, but basically what he's saying here is that you want to be able to pick projects of your own size and be able to kind of take into account how much time and how much creativity and how much effort you want to be putting into something. Building like if you have the effort, like here we built the whole mountain, like that's because I wanted to build that whole thing. And it's okay to kind of also just build, he said, a molehill. So like building something smaller, something more to the scale of what you want to do, be totally okay with that. I think this was a really cool comment to kind of talk about here, because I have a lot of people who have been leaving comments recently and asking me like, how do you do this? How do you do that big stuff? Like, how do you do these massive projects? Like for me personally, I love doing massive projects that I know I can sit down in and just be like, okay, I have this vision of something I'm going to be creating over the next few weeks, and I can sit down and just chunk out some work on it. Instead of each and every single time I sit down, I'm like, hey, I have to come up with something new. I like being able to kind of building up things and building up the whole world and kind of making this giant custom area that we're working on. I think it's really fun to do it that way instead of spending all the time being like, hey, we got to come up with a cool new thing here, right there. But that's totally okay to do as well. If you guys prefer to do like small little builds like in your town or something like that and add them on as you go, that's totally okay. Granted, we're going to be doing that here real soon as we're jumping into say like 1.13, starting in the port city, all these different things that we have a lot of stuff coming in the future. But just always keep in mind that whatever you want to build and kind of whatever style you want to go for is totally okay. Just have fun with what you're doing and enjoy the process. And that's the important part of Minecraft, is just having fun and enjoying whatever you're building. So I just thought it was really cool to reiterate and kind of want to echo his comment on there. He also has a channel, so go check him out. But anyways, guys, let's hop back into the world. Well, welcome on back, everybody. I decided to break out the boat for the first time up here, and the things underwater are really glitching out. We got to get 1.13 in here soon. But oh my gosh. 1, boats are hard to travel in. 2, that's a lot of trees. 3, screw the boat. Screw the boat. I want my rockets. Give me my rockets. We're going to try and take off out of the water. Can you still do that? Oh, you totally can't take off from in the water still. Oh, I'm so good at this game. So we got that thick forest over there, which I said we were going to eventually be bringing into the whole area. End goal, what I want basically everything to look like that's not roads and things, is this. I think this looks so cool. It's going to look super grainy on your guys' screen, but take my word for it. It looks really cool from in-game, especially once we go ahead and get like all the life and things like this underneath it with all the darker like oak leaf bushes and things like that, which I have in my inventory. Look at that though. Look at that. Oh man, that's so cool with everything going on there. Oh man, I love this. I'm so happy with it. Once we start bringing the snow down, we got those tiny trees up there to give it more of a sense of scale. As these trees go up, they actually get shorter and shorter as you go to the top compared to what's all the way down here. So I tried to level them out as they go up. That's why I kind of built them from the top coming down. So I started with like 4 or 5 high trees. For the fences at least, and then after we got down here, most of these are like 7 high for the fences, so they grow a little bit taller as you get down to give it more of a sense of a scale, making it look a little bit more natural. I didn't do these ones right over here on the edge apparently, so I got to come back in and fix these guys up. But I think what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm just going to remove them, because this is so close to the edge of the terrain. It's something that obviously we need to come back in and build later, but we'll add more trees in as we go. This whole area under here is a pain in the butt to walk through. It's going to be a massive pain to work with and build in through here. We really should have done that ground layer first before doing all this stuff, but that's fine. But yeah, as you can see, it's a freaking maze trying to get through here, but it looks really cool from up above, and I wanted a really dense forest, and I think I got a really dense forest. So we can go all the way up here. It's going to be nighttime till we got our bed. We do. and it's looking really freaking great. Let me go ahead and sleep real quick, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and try and tackle a little bit more stuff working here with getting some bushes in and things like that. And I'll come back with you guys once we start adding in some more snow. I want to start bringing the snow down towards kind of through this area and everything like that. So I'll be back with you guys. All right, welcome back, guys. So I went ahead and started bringing a lot of the snow down, and I started to start adding in a lot more down to this area. Previously, we kind of stopped the snow off going across right here. I keep getting a bunch of lighting glitches underneath the trees where all the snow kind of is like, or where all the lighting is really, really dark, and then I place a block and it's like not dark anymore, but like it's actually registering as an area where mobs can spawn in, and it's really bugging me, and it keeps resetting every time I like log in and log out, for example. So what we're going to be doing right now though is we're going to be working on bringing the rest of the snow down here, just kind of in these areas. What I'm doing to start them out is basically just placing in one layer, covering as much of the area as I possibly can, then kind of coming back in like this and just adding little bits of depth to it here and there. Not doing a whole lot of it. Like we could go ahead and like do this type of thing throughout the entire place and have it smoothed out so you can actually like full on walk up this area. But I think that's a waste of our snow layers. So we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit, because these are just minor details that you're really not going to pick up unless you actually come up into this area. So that really means it doesn't matter to me. Because I think a lot of people will be looking at this from the basement going like, wow, that looks really, really cool, but they won't actually come all the way up here, which I am totally okay with. And that kind of leads me to another point I want to talk to you guys about, is the texture variation of the ground. So since we're doing this as a very, very thick forest, and I think we're going to basically stop doing it. We're not going to do that final one on the end like we just did. I think I'm going to go ahead. What I was going to say though is I want to go ahead and kind of decide on whether or not we're going to be doing texture variation underneath the trees too much. When it's on the edges, I think it's going to be worth doing, but once it's all the way into the middle, I think it might not be worth our time effort as far as for the amount of time we're going to be spending building these whole custom biomes. Like I really love the project we're working on, and I think it's going to be great once it's finished, but it comes down to how much effort do we want to put in on the little details that nobody's really going to see unless they actually run all the way into the forest. I get that if you're like doing a creative build or something, because you can literally just world edit, paint all that stuff down. But like, take a look at this. All these extra layers and things like that we're adding in here. Let's go ahead and fly off into the distance and see what we can like tell out with them. You can tell they're there, but how much of these can you actually see and do anything with? Not much. It just looks like white snow. In that area, you can kind of see them if you look really, really closely. That being said, though, if you're down in this area where you're basically just catching little glimpses of the snow as it's coming down the mountain, you can't see crap. There's like nothing you can see in here. And that gets to what I actually want to talk about here is like all these leaves and things. I went ahead and scattered them throughout the forest here. You'll see them as we kind of walk through. But like you can see that and all the grass and the ferns and stuff. From down here in the water, you see like maybe 5-6 blocks into here. After that, you don't really see anything besides the open patches kind of going through the area. I think it adds a really cool effect having it in there. I don't want to leave the underneath completely bare. But like all these things in here, that's just kind of a waste of resources and a waste of time because I got to spend all that stuff in there. So I'm curious to hear what you guys have to think, or what you guys have to say about that and what you think about it, whether or not we should spend the time filling in all these extra little details like this all over the place. I do want to go ahead and get rid of that flower though. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. We got a lot of cool things that we're going to be working with. We're going to be bringing the snow down into this area, kind of through these bits and kind of teetering it off a little bit as we bring it down into the forest. I think it's going to be really, really fun kind of messing with the snow and the grass and things like that and just kind of merging them in together and making it look somewhat natural-ish. Because like, for example, if we go like this, it's going to grow over those guys because of the way we have better Optifine. That's the word for it. The way we have Optifine set up means it grows underneath like grasses and things like that next to it, which will be really, really fun to mess with. So we can start adding in little bits like that throughout this whole place, and I think that'll really help us out with kind of merging them in and making it look a lot more natural. Some grass that's kind of just like covered up a little bit by the snow here. Like this guy, for example, we're going to go ahead and grab our snow blocks right like that. Bam, bam, and do bam, and place that guy on top. Like this area right here, we want to go ahead and bring this all the way down and kind of showing like it's merging out of the snow and coming into more of like that colder area where there's not snow quite everywhere, but you can tell it's definitely still just lower altitude, so there's not that much in it Let me go ahead and get a little bit more work done on this stuff, guys, and I'll be back with you. All right, everybody, welcome back to our snowy mountain, and it's looking freaking awesome. So we got all these little spaces right there that we still got to fill in. I've been going back into the snow cave every once in a while just to fill up the area, like every 5 or 6, and that's a hole. Every 5-6 minutes I've been running back over here since I still have yet to come back in and put in more hopper minecarts to help the collection rate and the speeds and everything like that. So we got to hit that guy. We can run back in here, and so far the items are gone, but basically I just come back in here every once in a while, just do this for a few seconds, fill up this whole place right here so we can get all that stuff starting to collect up, and then I just let it kind of go through, and we got these chests filled up, and they're slowly getting everything going right here. So we need to start crafting up some more snow blocks and things like that, but we got a lot of cool stuff that we can work with here. We can go ahead and just chant blah blah blah, that's weird, I don't know. We can go ahead and spam away at the snow here. We can cham away at the snow. I don't know what I was gonna be saying there, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get a bunch of snowballs. Some of them are coming over the edge there, which is kind of annoying, but we can go ahead and turn those all into snow blocks, and then turn our snow blocks here into snow layers. Still upset about how many snow layers you get per set of whatchamacallits, full blocks, like 3 full blocks, 6 layers. Come on, guys. Come on, Mojang, change one thing for me. That's all I want. Just want the one thing changed, and that's it. Now we don't really have places up here to put our bed down so we can sleep anymore. That's a bit of a problem. So we got to go ahead and run down here. We can sleep right here. That looks like a good spot. Hey, we got a screenshot. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do though is we're gonna fill in the last little bit of snow right here on these guys, like bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. So that's working out pretty cool right there. I haven't come through this area quite yet and filled in like grass and things like that underneath here. I've only done a few of the bushes, and over on this side is more where I have all this stuff. And the snow is now coming through the middle of the forest. Sorry for the probably pretty crappy compression right in here, because you know, YouTube and the whole extra leaves and things like that and transparent pixels. We got a lot of little bits of snow kind of hidden all over the place, and I think this is how I'm going to texture variate up the ground, kind of what we were talking about earlier. I think this is probably going to be our best way to go about it, adding little bits of detail without spending too much time doing it. We want to make sure all the time that we spend in here is really worthwhile and not just worthless extra layers of green, because when we're looking out from all the way down here, it's going to look a little weird with everything just being green. Say we're using only like our leaves, our oak leaves and everything like that. They're all going to eventually just turn into one mush of color. But right here, as you're kind of walking through it, you see little glimpses of white that kind of are like, oh, hey, I guess that's snow back there. You see the snow on the mountains. Then you kind of see the white a little bit as you go here and there throughout the whole place. And I think that's exactly what I want to be going for. You like right there, you can see a lot of little patches of it. I think that's a really cool color, and really cool, or not color, white isn't actually a color, but I think that's a really cool way of kind of creating this atmosphere of this snowy area that's not full on snowy, but like there's snow around that's kind of just sitting here waiting to thaw, for example, and just kind of things like that, where we can use this little tiny little bit of stuff right here, these 4 or 5 little pieces of snow in every little area like this, and just turn it into an awesome, cool biome with all this extra detail. Obviously, when we're down in these areas, we're still going to be coming in and bringing in this texture variation of using the path block, things like that. I just think more worth our time to probably not do this all the way up here, seeing as like that right there, you can already barely see that. You can kind of see it in there, but right here, you can't even tell it's there. So what's like the point in spending all that time doing that variation with coarse dirt and everything going all the way up there? It just look a little weird. I don't know. Let me know what you guys are thinking. If you guys want us to do it, we can go ahead and do it. But we're basically going to have to spend like an episode coming back through and updating all of this grass area. We're already doing a whole we're basically each mountain peak we build, I think is basically going to be turning into 2 or 3 episodes in total per peak, unless we do start building just the peaks going like this all the way down, and then we come back and texture variate them up every once in a while and kind of use that stuff for streaming and things like that once we, I don't know, eventually get into somewhere where we can stream somewhat consistently, because I'd really love to be able to do that. But man, I haven't been able to stream in a long time, so I can't even commit to like saying that we can do that. Just, you know, real life schedule and things like that really gets in the way. But yeah, I think, guys, I don't know if this is going to be a shorter one or a longer one, but I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We got a lot of work done here. This actually took me quite a few hours to get all this stuff going, and it's a pretty busy week for me. I got a lot of stuff on my plate this week with work, and it's Wednesday right now of the previous week. So when you guys see this, it'll be 8 days from when I'm recording it right now. And I've already worked, let's see, it's Wednesday right now. Let's see, I'm supposed to be working about 8 hours a day, which would be 24 hours. So I guess I'm at 34 hours right now. So I worked 10 hours over what I should be working for a healthy work schedule just because things need to get done. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are still enjoying this series, please hit that like button. It really means a lot to me and really helps the channel grow because I know a lot of you guys down there keep leaving comments going, wow, you're only at 3,000 subs? You guys liking the video helps out so much with getting this out to new people so they can also check out the content and enjoy it themselves. So thank you so much for everybody who does that. Takes that 1 or 2 seconds out of your day to scroll down a little bit and hit that like button. Really means a heck of a lot to me. Anyways, I'm going to stop blabbing on and asking for likes here. So thank you guys so much for that. I'm just going to ask you guys to subscribe now if you're new. And I will catch you on the flip side.